What's up, YouTube? It's Mike with Duel Links Task Force, bringing you another exclusive video. Now, what we are working with this evening or morning, depending on which time you're on, which time zone you're in, is Gravekeepers. Let's talk about them for a minute. I never really much played with them, never much cared, because I could not acquire Necro Valley, and it seems like the deck does not function well without it, which it doesn't. But I went online, did a little bit of research, and found out that there is actually a Predaplant version that you can use. But the skill it tells you to use with the Predaplant version is something along the line of like Master of Fusion, where you can subtract a card from your hand, bring a poly from outside your deck, blah blah blah. That always seemed a little bit boring to me. I never really liked that skill. So what we're actually trying is Sealed Tombs to see if it's still capable of having that one hit wonder that you're going to need. And it works amazingly with Blue Eyes, because of course you seal off the stone, so they can't do that endless repeating cycle that they are known for. Absolutely insane. It works for Thunder Dragons because they can't be taken out of their graveyard once they're put in there, so ends all that. It's just a really well-rounded skill. But remember, folks, you only get one shot with it. You can only use it once per duel, and it is not a permanent solution. Like I said, if you want to run it with Master Fusion, that's completely up to you. It's whatever you like. I just like Sealed Tombs better. So we're going to dive right into this. First off, we have Gravekeeper Spy. Now, you can flip it. Special summon one Gravekeeper monster with 1,500 or less attack from your deck, which is basically any card that we run. So you can, any Gravekeeper, I might add. So you can flip it. Now you automatically got a monster that you can special summon. So if this gets destroyed, they got two monsters. You can buy yourself another turn, possibly, just to stall, or maybe you got something better in the works. It's just a great card to have. Like I said, I use it to stall mostly. But we run 3 of those because it seems like it's being necessary. See, 1, 2, 3. And then we run 1 Gravekeeper's Recruiter, because as far as I can tell, you don't really need a whole lot more than this. When this card you control is sent to your graveyard, add 1 Gravekeeper monster with 1,500 or less defense from your deck to your hand. It's just good if you draw into a really hard brick and this is the only thing you got out, and if you can buy yourself just that one more turn that you want to summon, your Magician or your Fusion for your Gravekeepers, whatever you want. If you can get it that next turn, this is a great way to bring you another spellcaster, which is, Gravekeepers, they're spellcasters. Just another way to bring it in. So, like I said, I only run 1. You might want to run more. Just depends on how you want to play. Gravekeeper's Guard. This one, I've been looking for a way to add more of these in there without actually messing up the flow of the deck. Because flip, you target one monster your opponent controls and you return it to the hand. It doesn't get destroyed, so it doesn't actually activate an effect of it being destroyed. It just returns it to the hand. Which, if it's a Synchro, or if it's a XYZ, or if it's a Tribute monster, or if it's anything they can't get out by themselves, battery, if anything is big like that, if you send it back to the hand, it is detrimental to their deck. Like, now they're going to have a hard time bringing that back out. They got to re-summon it. They got to wait for another stone. They got to wait for anything to bring back. Because now you just send it back to the hand. All the XY materials are gone. They're spent away. It's amazing. So, like I said, I've been trying to find a way to add this in there without convoluting the deck too much. Next, Gravekeeper's Headman. If this card is summoned, you can target 1 level 4 lower Gravekeeper monster in your graveyard, special summon it in attack position or face down position. You can only use the effect of this card once. This card is unaffected by Necro Valley. Now, as Gravekeeper, Necro Valley means that a card cannot be taken from the graveyard and moved somewhere else. So you can't banish it, you can't bring it back to your hand, you can't bring it to your deck, you can't do any of that. cannot be banished. Negate any card effect that would move a card in the graveyard to a different place. Negate any card effect that changes types or attributes in the graveyard. This was a huge thing back with Elemental. Sabers was a big deck before it got completely smacked around. It's not so much now, but the effect of not being able to move cards from the graveyard to anywhere else, including banishment or back to the hand or back to the deck or special summon to the field, is absolutely insane. This card, coupled with Sealed Tombs, absolutely shuts down everything that works from the grave, which seems to be everything I run into nowadays. So, I unfortunately only have 2 copies of this. I had to spend a small chunk of change on it just to acquire the 2 that I have. But I'm really trying to go for that 3rd, so hopefully I can add that to this deck soon. I'll keep you guys updated. But for now, I only have 2. Gravekeeper Steel. Target 2 Gravekeeper monsters in your graveyard and add those targets to your hand. Again, this card cannot be affected, or this card cannot be negated by the effect of Necro Valley. So again, you get to use it. It's not affected by Necro Valley, so you can just use it to bring 2 Gravekeeper monsters back to your hand, which is a great recycling thing, and it pretty much screws up any plans that your opponent had of getting rid of them. I only run 1. Now, this card right here, this thing is pretty nice right here, okay? Again, I'm trying to find ways to get a little more out of it, but activate only if both a Gravekeeper's monster and Necro Valley are on the field. Neither player can special summon monsters except Gravekeeper's monsters. Okay, if either a Gravekeeper monster or Necro Valley is not on the field, destroy this card. It's continuous. So as long as you have a Gravekeeper and Necro Valley both on the field, your opponent cannot special summon any monsters. Which means no special summon Blue Eyes, no special Thunder Dragons, no special summon Photon, no special summon anything. Nothing. Completely nerfed. So, trying to figure out how to add a little something more into this. Like I said, this is a very rough draft of a deck. I had no intentions of running Gravekeepers, but this thing absolutely stomped. As you see in the very first of the video, I went 8 out of 10 with this deck, which is really, really high. And really, really unexpected because most of the time I don't get more than 3 or 4 wins in a row without getting smacked for about 5 times. So, this thing was super impressive. Demise of the Land. Activate only when your opponent special summons a monster. You get to select a field spell from your deck and activate it. Which means if they special summon, because you couldn't negate the special summon with the Gravekeeper card, now guess what? Now you automatically get to bring in your Necro Valley, which is beautiful, and then start the chain of not letting them special summon anything out, or your monsters not being able to be destroyed. It's wonderful. I strongly recommend running it. I only run 1. Now we got Chimera, Predaplant Fusion. I only run 1, as you can see, because I only have 1. So if you got more, maybe play around with a little bit. If you don't know what it does, 1 Predaplant monster, 1 Dart monster. You can target 1 monster on the field with a level less than or equal to this card, banish it. When an attack is declared involving this card and an opponent's face-up monster, you activate this effect. The opponent's monster loses 1,000 attack, and if it does, this card gains 1,000. So, cool thing. If, well, I mean, not so much cool, kind of irritating, but it does not work on XYZs, okay? It only works on single monsters, and I guess because XYZs are considered, you know, they're not really sent to the graveyard as they're being XY'd. It does not work on XYs, so I don't know why that is. It's kind of crazy. Like I said, I guess because it's technically more than 1 monster, so if you bring this out to try to get rid of an XY, you will be sorely disappointed because I know I was. But the cool thing is if you attack into a Blue Eyes, I know I like to bash Blue Eyes a lot, but it seems to be the most played. And it works pretty decent, I might add. You bring out Blue Eyes, they have 3,000. You can swing into him with your 2,500. He loses 1,000, which puts him at 2,000. And then you gain 1,000, which makes you 3,500. So you get to just smack a Blue Eyes right in the face. Because, as this card states, he has to be a level 7 or lower. And Blue Eyes are level 8. So they get to skate by with their little 1 level. Quintet Magician. This card is nasty. 5 spellcaster type monsters must be fusion summoned. If this card is fusion summoned using 5 spellcaster type monsters with different names, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. This face-up card on the field cannot be tributed nor used as fusion material. Also, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So, if you got your alternate, he cannot pop it. And he's 4,500. Pretty strong. And the fact if you can get 5 different Gravekeepers, he just wipes out the whole board. So he's essentially Black Rose without having to sacrifice your Black Rose. Nasty. Now you may be confused as how do you bring him out? It says he has to be fusion summoned. Well, we go back to this right here. Oh, wait, no. My bad. This one. Necro Valley, being on the field, you can fusion summon 1 spellcaster type monster. Which, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He is a spellcaster. So, that card works to bring him out. Gravekeeper Supernaturalist. Ugh, that's almost tongue-tied. 2 Gravekeeper monsters, gains attack equal to the combined original levels of the materials used for this fusion times 100. When Necro Valley is on the field, this card and any card in your field zone cannot be destroyed by card effects. So, again, it's great to have a little saving grace there. During your main phase, you can activate this effect during the end phase of this turn. Add 1 Gravekeeper's monster or Necro Valley card from your deck to your hand. Okay? Which means you can use your Steel, you can use Necro Valley, you can use your other Gravekeeper to stop from special summoning. You can have Necro Valley added to it. The possibilities are endless. Plus, he actually does get a little bit stronger. I've seen him get up to about 3,200 is what I personally used him. But the fact that he can't be destroyed and he doesn't allow your field spell to be destroyed is absolutely insane. So I run 2. Now, we get to a little updated version because I said it's revamped. Now, the revamped number 32, Shark Drake. People like to use it with water decks. I found that this works amazing with Gravekeepers because you can actually flood the field with level 3 monsters or level 4 monsters pretty easily. Once per turn, when this card attacks and destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can detach 1 material from this card. Special summon the monster you just destroyed from your opponent's graveyard. Add it back to the board. It loses 1,000 attack, and if it's summoned this way, this card can make a second attack. So essentially, if they bring out a 500 attack monster for some crazy reason, because they were going to use it to special summon when it was destroyed, but unfortunately you got Necro Valley in your card that says it can't be special summoned, you smash into it with 2,800. He goes away, you detach material, he comes back, now he has 0, and you attack again full frontal with 2,800, and it is an OTK smash. Beautiful card. Highly recommend getting it. Number 70, Malevolent Sin. 2 level 4 monsters, which as I stated is super easy. You can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 monster your opponent controls. It does not have to be face up. It can be face down. You banish it into your opponent's next standby phase. At the end of the damage step, this card attacked. You can make this card gain 300 attack, and if you do, you increase this rank by 3. Whew! So, you banish it. Boom, he's gone. You cleared the way for a 2,400 direct attack. Once you do that, boom, his card does come back. Yes, but now you are 2,700. If you've got anything else that's just got a little bit more juice, 1,600 or more, it is an OTK. Smack to the face, which Necro Valley boosts up 500. So it should be pretty easy for an OTK. Love it. Now, a lot of people hate this card, number 18. I'm not real sure on it, so I'm just going to call it Patriarchs. I'm not sure about the first, and I don't want to screw up any names because people will tear you apart when you do that. 2 level 4 monsters, once per chain during either player's turn. If 2 or more monsters with the same name are on the field, blue eyes, you can detach 1 material from this card, choose 1 monster among those with the same name, and destroy all other monsters with that name. While this card remains on the face up on the field, your opponent cannot summon monsters with that same name as any other monsters chosen from this card effect. And then, you know, if you got Heraldic Beast from your deck, you know, all that good stuff, but we don't run that. So, that is the deck. If you guys love it, if you want to see me try to build something else, please let me know. I enjoyed this so much. I'm so glad you guys are commenting. I'm glad our videos are doing well. We love you guys. Please keep up the good work. And as always, please have a good and safe day and continue on playing. Duel Links Task Force out.